Okay, so by starting, I want to ask a question. What adaptations have we made over the years that made things more compact and easier to access? No, not phones. Oh, okay, I took out the wrong thing. I'm talking about things you can do at home. Home gyms, home businesses, home offices, home parties. There's a list that we can go on for 3 hours. Home coffee machines. Well, most people probably didn't know that the music industry has also made some changes as well. Of course, one reason is because of COVID, but there's also some other reasons as well. First, I guess we should look at what COVID did to most of us and the music industry this year. Okay, we have to adapt to COVID. If we didn't, I'm not sure everybody that's here would be here. We've had to lock down and quarantine to keep ourselves safe from runny noses, raspy voices, and fevers, which if we did have these, we'd probably have quite a bit of hellish torment. However, because of the lockdowns, we've had to be separated from each other, and that made our connections weaker. Communication and connection had to be online. Time zones were a difficult problem, and daily schedules and events were not a thing. Now, all these dealt quite a shock to us, of course, but what about music? I'm not talking about the feelings of Justin Bieber, Billie Eilish, because of course they'll be frustrated, and because if COVID is here, of course everybody's psyche would be quite damaged. I'm talking about the music industry and what this pandemic dealt to the industry of beautiful sounds. Well, let's look at what did not work out first. We couldn't have as many concerts as last year because of the quarantine policies, and that's where most of the money comes from. Half of them couldn't be done, and that was a big loss. Also, lots of bands and orchestras cannot meet up because there's members that are overseas. Just imagine, an orchestra is going to perform in a big chapel in, I don't know, the middle of Italy, for example, and the solo violinist is locked down in the hotel in Hawaii. Now that's going to be quite a few problems, isn't that? Same with concerts, you can't really do anything about that, and studios as well. You can't get to record because they're closed down. And now you can't even record or go live. Most big singers have probably, canceled some of their concerts and tours. For example, Taylor Swift, Green Day, Khalid, and of course there's more last year. The Spotify streams last year has decreased 11%, and that's only Spotify. Counting the live concerts and counting the recording stuff, now just think how much revenue that's decreased. Not efficient. If there's so much problems, how do we get through all this? The answer is home production. I mean, I know this has been for a while because, there's always couch potatoes that are lazy and just don't want to go outside and just moves everything to the home. But, of course, that's not the mainstream. And we're not talking about studios here. Not recording rooms, not studios, not fancy looking equipment. Unless you buy everything and get an architect to get your room into a studio. Well, that's probably gonna be really expensive. So, what we're talking about is a table, a laptop, and nothing else. Now, what does that look like? Because, of course, me talking about it here probably doesn't give you an image about it. Okay, yeah. So, let's do a comparison. On the left, we have a full studio with a big knob table, 2 big black boxes, some machines that look quite confusing, a typing keyboard somewhere, and fluffy walls, and instruments on the other room put with a transparent pane in the middle. Now, on the right in the home studio, we have a computer, 2 speakers, a keyboard, a chair, nothing else. In fact, when I make music, I don't even have speakers. So I use these earphones, which are not AirPods nor Beats, and, well, I make songs. Now, it isn't that you have to use good equipment to make good songs, even though there is an old saying of 工欲善其事，必先利其器, which means that if you want to get good stuff, you have to get good equipment first. But we're having COVID. And if we had COVID, how are we supposed to get all the good equipment, right? Yeah. So, laptop works. Now, COVID also made us quite frustrated and annoyed, and lots of emotions have flowed into us. And that actually helps, you know? It's not just music, but I'll talk about my personal story. Okay, so I improved a lot on making music in this year, 2021 and 2020. So, I started in 2019, May. That was when I was 5th grade. I was really passionate about music, well, you can see here. And I was able to make some songs, but I'm not even sure that they're songs. Am I sure? I don't know. When I moved to lockdown on COVID, though, I was quite frustrated. Well, everyone was, but however, the lockdown did not deal such a big problem. The lockdown provided me with time to be able to develop, experiment, and play and learn. I was able to watch videos on sound design, arrangement techniques, and how to make the sound loud and not just quiet. I was able to look at articles that taught me chord progressions, music theory, and some other random techniques that big producers would use. And most of all, I was able to play with that computer and do whatever I want to experiment with music. I could have got better grades. Yes, but I got to play with music and explore my hobby, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. And I guess I should show you guys what I make most of the time, because boom. This is basically what it looks like. This is a computer screenshot from the music device that I use every day. So basically I just have like a lot of effects, a sound synthesizer, a thing I don't know what it even does. And you can see there's no knob tables or black boxes or glass panes or fluffy walls, is there? That's just a computer screenshot. Now, so after all of this, I think I should just get everything together. So first, of course, everyone got impacted by COVID, which made communication, connections, and bands weaken. Lockdowns also affected jobs, and the music industry was in a mess. However, we've got home production, and well, home production's not the important thing. There's lots of things we can do at home, and we got over this. Yes, not just the music industry, but a lot of businesses as well. However, for most industries, COVID was definitely a bad thing. Would you say that? Yes. But the emotions developed in COVID and the new ways developed in COVID definitely gave the music industry more power. So I guess it's not really a bad thing. So what do I want to say? I'm not going to come here and talk about music the whole time because probably half of the audience wouldn't understand me. I want to say that we can have a different mindset of how things work. It's not that you just have to stick on the one thing and just be like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do this. And then you go to lockdown and be like, no, I can't do that. We have to have a different mindset. That helps. We can also we can also go around. Don't stick in one place. Don't be couch potato. Sitting on your couch and just scrolling around in a computer doesn't help anything. Unless, your work's supposed to be a couch potato and scroll around in the computer. And we can go experiment, go play, go try. Go to be creative. If we weren't creative, home producing and coffee machines wouldn't exist, would they? Neither would computers, printers, pens, paper, and probably this big screen and that banner over there. So what can we do? Having a mindset doesn't do anything. We need to go try. So, maybe after this, you can go try. Pick up something and experiment with it. I don't know, go around and look. What's interesting? Okay, oh, I saw a thing over there. Oh, look, what could I do with that? Yeah, it doesn't have to be something really good or really awesome that looks like the Garden of Eden, screenshots that have superpowers and flying people. Well, of course you don't have to. You just have to come up with something. Come up with something. Experiment with it. I'm sure you would end up with something. It doesn't have to be good. It just has to be a spark. A spark of your mind, a spark of your body. Just boom. Oh, look, I've got something. What could I do with this? Once you've got a spark, you can go on to try more, right? You'll get motivated. You don't have to try more with that thing if it's just looks completely like a disaster. But Now, get out of the gray zone. Go try. Don't be a perfectionist and a pessimist. Go and try. Thank you, everybody.